This video is for those who want an idea of something to do after the primary program that keeps kids engaged, is fun, doesn't have chaos, but doesn't have anyone being bored either. I've been in primary for a long time. I've seen a lot of different things for after the primary program, and I've done different things depending on the energy level of the leaders and such. So sometimes leaders like to have big snacks, sometimes like to have big parties. But with those, I found that oftentimes the kids get restless, they don't engage in the movie, or if there's a craft or something to do, they do it really quickly and then start kind of causing problems. So a few years ago, I came up with a solution that has worked really well for my primary, and so I thought I would share it in case it works well for yours. The first thing you need are 3 big quilts or blankets, and I asked my primary presidency to help. Usually I don't have this many blankets that I'm okay having them sit on, so I'll ask my primary presidency to bring in a big blanket, or if anyone has one, and so that's kind of one less thing on my plate that I have to do. It has to be pretty big. And what we're going to do is going to split the children up into stations, but the stations will be on blankets. They've been sitting in chairs all through sacrament meeting, having to use a lot of self-control and singing, and so to sit on the floor is really fun and different because we never do that in primary, at least in mine we don't. And so let me talk about the 3 stations that we do. I have a junior primary and a senior primary. We have a lot of children, and so my primary presidency has decided that they still go to class and the teachers do whatever in there, but when they come in for singing time, which is about 20 minutes, a little less, I have my 3 stations set up. They're going to stay in these stations about 7 minutes. I set a timer on my phone, and then they rotate. So the first station is kind of the tree. So instead of having a big tree after the primary program that I have to make or somebody has to make or buy, we turn the tree into an activity. So I just buy a big box of Froot Loops, and then I get some twine for just a few dollars at Walmart. It'll be a little different than this. And I either have it pre-cut up, but if I don't have time, the teachers seem to always be looking for a way to help. So I say, can you help me with this? I figure out a certain length of twine. Let me put this down. And then the twine I've been using lately kind of frays at the end, and so I will tie a knot to make it like a really good start so that they can thread Froot Loops really well. So I have a picture here of my setup that I've done where I throw out a blanket, and then I just put some inexpensive paper plates down, and I pour some Froot Loops on, and see they have the twine here. Each child gets one, and I have them do a bracelet, not a necklace, so they don't get too many Froot Loops, and we have enough for everybody. And so they just sit there, and they thread the Froot Loops, and it keeps them really occupied because they want lots of Froot Loops, and so they can just put on as many as they can in 7 minutes. And for this station, I also have a primary song or an uplifting song just kind of playing softly in the background to kind of muffle voices so they can talk, but there's that kind of lovely atmosphere of music at that station. Then the next station, I don't have a picture of, but I use this Bible memory game, and I tried to find this on Amazon or Walmart, but I guess it's out of print, but you can do any memory game. Mine are these big cards, so they're really convenient, but I just spread them out all on the blanket, and honestly, you can just search online for pictures and just print 2 copies, back them with construction paper, and you have a memory game, any memory game. That I like the Bible one because it talks about scripture characters. And again, I give the authority over to the teachers to help the student or help the children with a memory game, to take turns and all that. And then when they're done with that station, I say, okay, put them all back, and then they reconfigure the memory game ready for the next group. The third station I have is a church history bingo game. And you could probably do any bingo game, but I used funds to buy this a few years ago, and I got this from Susan Fitch. She's an amazing artist, and she just has the cutest little thing. I just printed it on cardstock. I don't let them keep the boards. I just put it back in here every year So I just have it to go, and everybody gets a board. I prep all the pieces to pick and say, this one. And again, I put it in charge of a teacher. Hey, can you call out these? For markers, if you're trying to go simple, I just chopped up a bunch of little colored pieces of paper to mark their boards to see if they get a bingo. But sometimes I've had a primary presidency that wants to give them another little treat. And so getting each person a pack of Smarties is also something fun. They can use it to mark and they get a treat. No one had to make it. It's really inexpensive. So that's a good option too, or whatever little treat you want to mark their boards. And again, they move every 7 minutes. Staying on the ground, chatting with friends, doing something different, but also engaging in what they've been learning with church history and the Bible keeps them engaged in gospel principles. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments and I can get back to you.